Ever wondered what secrets lie in the darkest corners of the internet? We're not talking about the regular web, folks. No, we're diving into the dark web, where some of the most dangerous and sometimes downright bizarre items are bought and sold. From illegal drugs to live-streamed horror, here's a countdown of the top 5 most insane things you can find, if you dare. At number 5, we're taking a look at one of the most notorious markets on the dark web: drugs. But don't get it twisted. This isn't your regular street-level stuff. We're talking high-grade pharmaceuticals, lab-synthesized opioids, counterfeit medications, and enough meth to make Walter White blush. And yes, some of the stories from this world are straight out of a thriller movie. Let's dive into a case you may have heard about: the infamous Silk Road, run by Ross Ulbricht, aka Dread Pirate Roberts. Ross wasn't just your everyday drug dealer. He was the kingpin of a billion-dollar marketplace that sold everything from MDMA to meth. But what really happened? And how did the FBI finally catch up with him? The Silk Road was like Amazon, but for drugs. Users could anonymously browse listings of drugs, all reviewed and rated by buyers. Ross thought he had created the perfect crime-proof business. Transactions, all done with Bitcoin. Location, hidden using Tor, the dark web's best-kept secret. But the FBI was on his trail. The turning point? A slip-up. Ross accidentally used his real email in a forum post when recruiting help. After years of undercover work, he was caught in 2013 at a public library with his laptop open to the Silk Road admin panel. Just 1 second of inattention, and it all fell apart. Next on our list is something much darker: human trafficking. This isn't for the faint-hearted. Children and women are bought and sold across borders, their lives reduced to dollar signs. And the dark web is one of the places fueling this horrifying trade. The demand here? Staggering. And the stories even more so. In one of the most shocking cases, Operation Underground Railroad, or OR, fought to dismantle a global trafficking network. Led by former U.S. operatives, they worked undercover, going toe-to-toe with traffickers who thought their secrets were safe online. But OR had other plans. Our agents pretended to be traffickers, attending events that traffickers used to shop for victims. They documented the transactions and collected evidence, all the while risking their own lives. Once they had enough evidence, they called in law enforcement to make the arrests. In a single operation, they freed 123 children and women across multiple countries. But even with these heroic efforts, human trafficking remains a shadowy world difficult to fully uncover. Imagine an online catalog of guns, explosives, and even biological agents. On the dark web, military-grade weapons are sold alongside designer drugs. This is no ordinary market. It's an armory for anyone with the cash and the courage. Meet Joseph Hunter, aka Rambo. A former sniper, he traded in his military skill set to become a dark web assassin for hire. He wasn't just selling guns, he was selling fear. Hunter served in the US Army but turned rogue, allegedly assassinating targets for international drug cartels. Recruited through encrypted channels on the dark web, he planned elaborate operations against high-profile targets. But Hunter's activities drew attention. Law enforcement tracked him using cryptocurrency transactions, and after a sting operation, Hunter was arrested, shutting down one of the most lethal dark web channels. Have you ever felt like someone might be watching you from the shadows? With the hitman for hire market on the dark web, it's more real than you'd think. These aren't just stories. Let's get into a case that almost changed history. One dark web client tried to hire a hitman to target a high-profile politician. The hitman market operates through code names, anonymous email chains, and untraceable payments. But this time, a mistake was made, leading law enforcement right to the client. Despite careful planning, a technical oversight let law enforcement trace a payment. What followed was a high-stakes race to find the hitman before the target was attacked. Thanks to a well-coordinated operation, the plot was foiled and the perpetrators caught. And here we are, the darkest corner of the dark web, the so-called red rooms. It's the stuff of horror films, where users allegedly pay to watch live-streamed violence. Real or myth? Let's get into it. One notorious case involves a kidnapper who live-streamed his experiments in a setup like a twisted psychological lab, In his mind, he was running a show. In reality, it was a terrifying nightmare for his victims. The man used an encrypted network, hosting live sessions where viewers could vote on what would happen next. Eventually, he was caught through a combination of undercover agents and sophisticated network tracing. Tracking him took months, but when the authorities finally closed in, they uncovered footage from his sessions, providing crucial evidence to put him away. So there you have it, the top 5 most dangerous items sold on the dark web. While the internet can be a fantastic resource, it's also a dark place filled with unspeakable horrors. Stay safe out there, and remember, curiosity might just lead you down a path you can't come back from. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the underbelly of the internet, hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and let us know in the comments. What did you find most shocking?